So I've been asked, how the secret to getting so many UFO videos, and the fact that I have so many experiences. And people don't believe me when I say you have to ask humbly, truthfully, ask. That's the key. That's the secret. When I talk about the difference between an advanced race and humans, everybody thinks of the advanced race that they see on TV, which is the advanced race that some human has thought up. Uh, they have the traits that human thinks an alien intelligence was have. They discard ideas as well as accepting ideas that they have no idea could be true or false. None. You have to look at the obvious truth. Number one, I've never had a scary experience. It was always extremely gratifying and uplifting. Uplifting. That what I can say is uplifting because it gave me hope. Hope for life in the universe. What I've had experiences that I was an outside observer where the event was happening and I'm watching. Like the vehicle that was parked against the hillside out there at Iron Mountain Mine. This thing was fucking gigantic because, see, I knew what the perspective view was because I grew up there. That was my playground. I walked every fucking inch of where this vehicle was sitting. I know that area like the back of my hand, and that is not kidding. Okay, I explored every single bit of that on bikes and on foot and on motorcycles. Every bit of it. I went up and down that road 1,000 times if I went up once. I knew exactly what was there, what should be there, even though it was a moonless night. You could see Shasta Dam, and the people that I was with thought it was a helicopter landing pad across the street. And they're all high. I'm high. And I tried to tell them, no, there's no helicopter landing pad over there. There's nothing there but a hillside and a fallen tower. And they were incredulous and didn't care. And I thought, surely once I can prove it to them, they'll care. And this thing was it was the size of 2 football fields. It was a gigantic circle, amber, red, and blue lights. And I have seen that exact vehicle in a UFO photo elsewhere, the exact one. And the next morning when I showed them, they wanted to go to town and get food. The next morning when I showed them, look, see, there's the fallen tower I told you about. I said, that means that thing was sitting against the hill. And you remember how big it was? They could care less. You see, that's the secret. Because I care. I do care deeply. And it's not just out of curiosity, because I want to know. It's out of respect. When I think about a superior being, I don't just mean superior because their car goes faster. I mean that they've understood the universe and its function, which means if they've done that, then they're a spiritual being. They don't have to believe in God or have a religion because they understand what God is about and why this creation. That advanced. When I tell people 1 billion years difference in evolution, I talk about the amoeba and the iPhone. Where would you start to explain your iPhone to an amoeba? To even consider it is ludicrous. And people would think you insane if you tried. So let's not go that far. Let's go 1/10 of that. Let's go 1/100th of that. No, let's go 1,000th of that. You see, to have a superior being that you can't understand, that kind of thinking about, well, how superior are they? How much better are they? No, they've made it to a point where they understand the value of life and that nothing else has value. That's it. Each one of us individuals all joined together, one mind, okay, all connected. I was reading an article about the brain. And, once you have particles in association, which, if we think about the quantum event of the Big Bang, that means we're all in association. We're all connected. Every effect on every particle has an effect, for a reason we can't understand, on every other particle in the universe. We have just begun to come out of the animal. We've just started to understand, and unfortunately, people have used God and religion in their attempts to control populations, okay? Because the wealthy and the rich have always been such a small minority that if the population and the people ever said, well, fuck you, we don't think this is cool, they'd be screwed. And they know it. And so they've developed all of these institutions to stay in power. Okay, that is the exact opposite of the beings that I'm talking about. A complete juxtaposition. Caring, maybe not in the way we do. Loving, maybe not in the way we do. Understanding, definitely better than us, okay? And that, yes, there was something before this and there'll be something after this. And that this physical existence is something that was created by an intelligence. Like trying to explain an iPhone to an amoeba, except, instead of 1 billion years difference, you have maybe, 16 billion. They're now saying the universe could be much older. Now that they fired up the web and they're seeing shit that shouldn't be there, they're thinking, maybe our estimates are a little off. So we should get some more data on that soon. If alien intelligence meant us any harm, they could have done away with us at any time. Why would you wait until a species develops computers and advanced weapons and all these things? Why would you wait if you plan to harm these beings? Why would you do that? It's the exact opposite of that. They care about us. It's obvious because we can do the most horrible things to them and they haven't taken action against us. That's compassion, understanding. They knew who and what we are, and they're afraid we're going to fucking do ourselves in and destroy a beautiful planet that probably really isn't ours. Definitely not ours to despoil. It's so painfully obvious, okay, that they don't mean us any harm. There have been incidents aggravated by us. Caused by us. Think about a human scientific exploration to another star system because we've detected life there, and you have an incident where you crash or they shoot you down, and then they keep you prisoner because they're so paranoid you're the advanced vanguard of an invasion that's all they think about. They think that you're a problem. They wouldn't welcome you. They wouldn't, their best foot wouldn't be put forward because the people, the intelligences there, probably like us, wouldn't be in control. Advanced species don't war. War to them is the exact opposite of the positive. For us, it's like a hobby. We're so good at it that we take all of our technologies and we turn them into weapons. And supposedly, that's what happened when aliens had already said, "Okay, look, we're going to help you out here. We're going to help you with your energy crisis, because with infinite energy sources comes everybody's, the entire world could be fed, housed, clothed. The atmosphere can be cleaned. The ocean can be cleaned. We can, you don't need unlimited expansion. You don't need fetishized purchasing. That there's other ways to live that are very satisfying and beneficial to the human psyche and the planet." These beings, if they wanted to, could just brush us aside. And we know that. And maybe that scares some people. Okay? But you have to understand, this isn't a child with a fucking gun. This is a species that is so smart, it scares the 1% here. The 1% on the planet Earth is terrified of alien intelligence, because alien intelligence is only interested in all life. And when they tried to help us, we backstabbed them. It caused a conflict, and they said, "Fuck you, we're just not going to help you anymore." And it's obvious that there are, an unknown number of species that are visiting us, unless they have a variety of vehicles, right? The technologies tend to be associated with certain types. You have people going and sitting before Congress and saying, "Yep, we have, biological entities, and we've recovered vehicles, and you see," but people aren't putting two and two together. Greer's talked about it for many years, okay? The cabal that's controlled energy and power on our planet. They're fucking terrified of alien intelligence. That if they're going to land and go, "Here's infinite energy," they're all out of fucking business. And now people are going to go, "Well, wait a minute. You see, when the truth comes out that these Tic Tacs are ours, and that we've had all these abilities for a very long time, and here we have people dying on shuttle missions and spending $1 trillion because we're going to go explore space, and here we have vehicles that can go back and forth to the moon in minutes." Those are questions that people aren't going to be able to answer. There may be an internal civil war over this. Because these people have been fucking us. All of that technology, all of it all belonged to the world. Okay? At a minimum to the United States citizens, whose government employees gave these technologies to outside businesses and said, "Here, you develop them," because the military knows that they leak like a sieve, okay? They're compartmentalized. They're run by civilian companies. They're extra congressional, so that Congress and senators and the government can't stick their nose in their business. All this trillions of dollars have disappeared down these black holes over the last few decades. We all know where it's going, who've had experience. They're caring, understanding, loving beings. We just don't want to see them that way, because the entire planet has been, brainwashed into thinking that aliens are here to do us harm, that they need something from us. They need our blood. They need our, they soak in human body parts for energy. I actually read that. That the aliens have been kidnapping humans because they chop them up and then they soak in vats of human body parts. Okay? That is to instill fear. All the UFO shows that used to be on TV, you notice how they went away? Because everyone has a fucking camera in their pocket now. Everyone has a high definition video camera in their pocket. You could no longer, those shows were useless because they were meant to instill fear. Everything was fear, 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 fear. I talk about the CIA, ex-CIA agent that went around with him and wore the long black coat and the black cowboy hat. And he always asked these witnesses who had an experience, were you afraid? Did you feel fear? That's all he cared about. Okay? What do they want? Oh, they're around our nuclear facilities. Nuclear this, nuclear that. Oh, yeah, it's a security threat. National security, national security. That's all fucking bullshit. Okay? This is a spiritual matter. This is not a fucking military matter. This is a matter between the peoples of other star systems and the human race. Not some fucking Fed, okay, or some goddamn billionaire. That is why they are not making contact with us, because they understand that that's not their right. They do not have the right to interfere with our progress, good or bad. And, you know, my wife wants to think that there is a break glass in case of emergency situation, and I do too. I'm hoping that they won't let us destroy ourselves, that they will interfere, because as far as I'm concerned, I invite them today. Yes, today. Don't wait until we destroy ourselves. I would say, okay, this is how it's going to be. And everyone would understand, except for the 1% or the military. Because now they have nothing now. You see, when people don't need to war, what does the military industrial complex do? The biggest fucking business in the world. Selling tanks, weapons, bombs, threatening us with nuclear fucking death. You know what I mean? And they just come down and say, okay, none of your nuclear weapons are going to work. This is an infinite energy source, and we're going to make it public on every single media on your planet. In other words, every government, every single person, every Joe Blow, every scientist, every nobody, everyone will be able to understand and see this is free energy for everybody. Because see, some human, if it wasn't done that way, some fucking company, government, whatever, would swoop in and, okay, now, we can't ruin the economy. We'd destroy the economy. Oh my goodness. If we had free energy, oh fuck, we'd destroy the economy. That's what they love to say. They have all these fear tactics that they use. The human psyche has been damaged by the system that's put in place. I think that humans are better than we exhibit. I think humans are better than what we exhibit. There's times when I'm ashamed to be a human, and there's times when I'm proud to be a human being, because I see how compassionate and good that we're capable. We could be so much more if allowed to be so. But the system that's been put in place isn't to make sure everybody is risen. It's put in place so that the men who love power, they love power. Money gives them power. That a system that was put in place a long time ago called religion, so that they could compel people to do something, or I'll condemn you to hell. I will dissen whatever you know. Some fucking, Italian guy says, oh, well, you can have Japan. Japan's yours. Go ahead, because they're heathens. See, once religion allowed the monetary capitalized type system we have to grow and flourish and become what it is today. It happened through religion. Now, that system doesn't need religion anymore. You had 28 million Christians left the church in the last 25 years. Because, you see, with information being available, if you're even semi-literate, you understand that religion is a scam. That no God would act like any of the gods we've created act like, because they act like men. In every way, they act like men. They talk like men. They act like men. The beings that are watching us are spiritual beings. So far beyond us that I don't doubt that there are species that have actually shed tears for us of compassion and worry and fear for us. Not these evil creatures that Hollywood has presented. I did the video where I showed over 2,000 movies and only like 6 of them were like positive. The rest were all negative, showing aliens as negative. They don't show, some alien sitting somewhere crying because they're full of compassion for us and they understand that we're on the edge, that it doesn't look good for us, and they're fearful. They see all that life, because the only thing of value in the universe to an enlightened being is life. And once you have the technology where you can control matter on the smallest level, and you can replicate anything, and that's the basis again behind Star Trek, is the replicator. No one had a job because they had a replicator. And you notice how little it was talked about. Gene Roddenberry didn't push the replicator in your face all the time. The newer generations kind of did it with the transporter because it's the same kind of technology, okay? But the replicator, the whole idea behind the replicator, and it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't pushed to the forefront, was that no one had a job. Nothing had value. Unless it couldn't be replicated, which is impossible. Later on, iterations of Star Trek tried to do shit with gold-pressed latinum or whatever the fuck currency it was, okay? But still, it has no value because no one needs it. The intelligences visiting us understand that life is the only thing of value. And if you can't see them for what they are in that light, I don't know what to say. Okay, I've had many experiences, and I can always say they're enlightening. And one of them was really kind of almost a changing moment for me when there was a guy who could call them in. He could literally call in these orbs, the same ones that I see flying around my house and that I have many videos of, and that I've seen my whole life out there. And he could call them in. And he said his name was Yahweh. And I know that that's a religious connotation. But, sometimes sometimes information can be taken by religion and turned into something they need and use, and I understand that. And so I needed to know. And I looked into an empty point in the sky, and I said, "Are you Yahweh?" And there was this bright flash like a flashbulb. And immediately, my mind went to logical solutions for what I had just seen. In other words, doubt was going to save me from being shaken. It's a cosmic particle hit my retina. And as soon as I started having those thoughts, there was another bright flash in the exact same spot that told me, no. So now I have to accept that Yahweh is a name of whoever that entity was that was sitting up there that answered my question. And then there's other times when I'm sitting out there, because that was my urinal too. It was outside when I'm growing, right in the backyard. I basically lived out there in the summertime, and I'm always in the sky. And I looked up, and I was thinking that people can't tell what a UFO looks like because it's just a light in the sky, and this fucking thing looked like a lightning bolt. Completely impossible when we're talking 20, 30,000 mile an hour, 120 degree turns. It looked like a lightning bolt. Pew, pow, pow, pew, pow. Because I was looking up and I had this thought. That's why people can't tell what a real UFO looks like. And at that very instant, I was shown. You see, it's not the way humans see life is kind of like we're all locked in our own little prison up here, and that inside of our skull is safe, and that no one can see the truth in there, and no one can see really what we are or who we are, and we feel safe in that. And to think that an alien intelligence could look in there and know exactly who and what you are scares people, especially the one percenters, because they know they're not stupid. They know they're not superior. They know they're made of the same biological material and operate exactly the same way as a poor person, okay? And they need to be able to justify people starving in the fucking world while they drive around on their, $500 million fucking yachts. While they sit on billions of dollars of value while people starve to death. They need a way of justifying that, you see? That is probably the number one thing that they observe on our planet, is the unequal way that the planet is used, and the benefits, how they're spread between the people. Because our system of government is led by men. Men are still animals, and animals don't give a fuck except how much they can have, how much they can carry, and I want more. So, delivery. You get it.